Hi, I'm Allen Stafford, and welcome to the Pundit Playbook. See, the world's best pundits are master illusionists of the mind. They know how to bypass your logic and tap directly into your emotions. And here, we're going to analyze their techniques, not just to expose them, but to understand how our own brains respond, making us immune to their influence. And today, we're diving into one of the most powerful and invisible techniques in their entire playbook, exploiting a feature in our brains called motivated reasoning. It's a phenomenon that explains why even the smartest people can be the easiest to fool. And for me, well, the lesson was personal. See, I remember years ago, I was convinced a certain marketing strategy when I was a marketing director was a guaranteed win. I'd sunk weeks of my life into that project. But a colleague showed me the data suggesting it would basically fail. And my first instinct wasn't to analyze the information objectively. It was to find flaws in his data. I wasn't seeking truth at that time. I was defending a conclusion I was already attached to. You see, my brain was using its power not to think better, but to be better at staying wrong. And that is motivated reasoning in a nutshell. As a neuroscience coach, my job isn't to tell you what to think, but to show you how to think. And this isn't a character flaw, okay? It's a brain feature. When we face information that challenges a core belief, our brain can perceive it as a threat. And on the flip side, when we find information that confirms our beliefs, our brain gives us a little shot of dopamine, basically a reward chemical. It literally feels good to be right. And this is the exact mechanism that gets weaponized by those looking to persuade us. To show you what I mean, we're going to look at a masterclass on how it's done. We're going to use a video from Senator Adam Schiff about the government shutdown as a case study. So regardless of your politics, this video is a perfect example of how a skilled communicator can leverage motivated reasoning to build a powerful narrative. So let's break it down together. Okay, the first technique is to frame the opposition as hypocritical right from the start. See, this primes the audience to be skeptical of anything that person's going to say moving forward. Watch how Schiff does this in the first 20 seconds of this video.
Here's Donald Trump.
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the President of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together.
Okay, that was Donald Trump talking about who's responsible for a shutdown before he was president. As you might imagine, he's not blaming himself now, although he should.
See that before he even presents his own argument, he uses his opponent's past words to create an immediate contradiction. For a brain looking for cognitive shortcuts, the case is almost closed right there at that point. This person that Adam Schiff is talking about, well, he's basically saying they can't be trusted. All right, so next up is the power of labeling. A complex issue like a government shutdown has many causes, not just one. But the goal of a pundit is to simplify it down to a single cause and a single person to blame.
This is Donald Trump using a shutdown of his own creation from this Trump shutdown.
Did you catch it? The Trump shutdown. See, by repeating this label, the narrative is simplified. It becomes a story not about policy, but about one person. This is incredibly effective because our brains prefer simple stories over, well, complex realities. But the most powerful tool is emotion. Logic can be debated, but emotion, well, that is felt, my friend. Watch how the language shifts from policy to personal impact.
To try to cause more harm, more cruelty to the American people. And it's going to be the American people that suffer from this Trump shutdown.
Harm, cruelty, suffer. These words bypass our analytical brain and go straight for the emotional centers. This isn't just an argument anymore, it's a moral drama. And finally, you frame your side as the calm, rational actor in the chaos.
Those, I think, are pretty reasonable requests that we have in this budget process.
Reasonable requests? Well, this positions his side as the logical one, making it easier for the audience to align with him and see the other side as basically irrational. Okay, so now that we've spotted the techniques, how do we fight back against our own brain's tendencies? This is where we shift from being passive targets to active, empowered thinkers. I'm going to give you 3 strategies to do this. First, the outsider test. You see, when you feel that emotional rush defending a position, pause. Ask yourself, if I had no stake in this, how would I explain this issue to a neutral third party? See, this forces you to strip away the emotional and tribal language. Second, actively try to build the strongest possible argument against your own position. This is a powerful technique called steelmanning. It directly counters the confirmation bias that fuels motivated reasoning because, well, you're forcing your brain to look for data you would normally ignore. And third, separate your beliefs from your core identity. So instead of saying, I'm a person who believes X, try framing it as, I currently think that X is the most likely answer. See, this simple linguistic shift makes it easier to update your beliefs without feeling like, well, you're losing a part of yourself. See, when you start using these tools, the world basically changes for you. You're no longer just a player on the field getting manipulated by the pundits in the press box. You're in the press box right with them, seeing the plays unfold right before your eyes. You build a more resilient reality, one based on curiosity rather than conviction. I get it. This isn't going to be easy. It's a skill that requires practice. So I want to hear from you. In the comments below, share one time you caught yourself or someone else in an act of motivated reasoning. Let's build a community here that values the process of thinking sharper over the feeling of being right. And if you want to keep exploring the mental models that help you navigate our complex world, make sure you subscribe. We're basically all on this journey to think sharper together. Thanks for watching.